At 25, I got the job everyone told me was impossible. 6-figure salary. A building like this one, the kind of LinkedIn title that makes people stare for a second longer. It was my dream, or at least that's what I told myself. I remember standing outside on my first week, looking up at the windows glowing late into the night, and feeling this strange mix of pride and something I didn't have words for yet. I thought I'd finally made it. I didn't realize I'd just walked into a very pretty cage. I didn't grow up with money for most of my life. Success was just this vague picture. A nice apartment, a job people respected, not having to check my bank app before saying yes to dinner. So when this offer came in, it felt like the universe was finally apologizing. The email said the number, more than anyone in my family had ever made. I read it 3 times, waiting for it to disappear. I told myself, this is it. This is the version of me everyone will finally be proud of. The first day was intoxicating. The badge, the polished lobby, the way the receptionist said my name, like it already belonged there. They gave me a laptop that cost more than my first car. They showed me the free snacks, the coffee, machines that sounded like jet engines, the view from the 23rd floor that made the city look like a toy. I kept thinking, people post photos of stuff like this on Instagram. This is someone's vision board, and it's just my life now. I screenshotted my new job title and stared at it in my messaging app for a few minutes before sending it to anyone. Not because I was shy, but because I knew once I hit send, I'd become a different character in people's stories. The successful one, the "you're doing so well" friend, the proof that the plan works if you just hustle hard enough. The first few weeks were a blur of onboarding and adrenaline. Everyone talked fast, walked fast, typed fast. I felt behind even when I was early, but every time the anxiety kicked in, I opened my banking app and looked at the salary figure they'd written on that offer letter. I told myself, this is what adults do. This is the price of being somebody. It's funny how quickly you can ignore a knot in your stomach. When you tie it to a number, the first crack showed up on a Sunday night. I was sitting on my couch, eating leftover takeout, doing absolutely nothing, and my chest felt like someone had quietly put a weight on it. Nothing was wrong, exactly. No crisis, no emergency, just this quiet dread, like there was a countdown running somewhere in the background. I thought, maybe I just need more sleep. It's new, it's stressful, it'll pass. It didn't. The hours started leaking. I'd wake up, check my phone, and there would already be emails, messages from people who lived in different time zones, with different expectations. Quick question. Can you hop on a call? Circling back on this, I started taking my laptop to bed, not because anyone asked me to, but because I was scared of being the slow one. The line between my job and my life just smudged. I stopped having a morning. I just had a waking up and immediately opening Slack at first. It felt like I was being responsible. That's how I justified it. If I prove myself now, it'll calm down later. If I say yes to everything for a while, I'll earn the right to say no. Later never really showed up. The second crack was my personality. I used to have opinions about things that had nothing to do with work. Movies, books, stupid memes. Slowly, all my stories started with, "So my manager said," or "This client wants," or the deadline got moved. I'd meet friends and realize I had nothing to talk about except deliverables and office politics. They'd ask, "So, how's the job?" And I'd reflexively say, "It's good. Busy, but good." Then I'd hear myself from the outside and wonder, who are you trying to convince? The weirdest part was how normal everyone made it sound. People would brag about how late they'd worked, how many emails they'd answered on vacation, how many weekends they'd had to give up. We'd laugh about burnout, like it was a quirky side effect of ambition. Someone once said, "If you're not at least a little burned out, are you even trying?" Everyone chuckled. I did too, but something in me quietly sank. There wasn't a single dramatic breaking point for me. No screaming boss, no sudden firing, no spectacular public meltdown. It was more like erosion, tiny pieces of myself wearing away in places no one could see. One night, I stayed late to finish something that wasn't actually urgent. I just didn't want to look like the only person leaving early. At 7:30, the office was quiet. Most desks were empty, but the building was still glowing. I went to the bathroom, washed my hands, looked up, and for a second I didn't recognize the person in the mirror. Same face, same body, but the eyes looked thin, like someone had turned the saturation down. I thought about how much of my day belonged to this place, how many of my waking hours were being traded for money I barely had time to enjoy. I thought about the younger version of me who wanted a good job. Would they be proud of this? Or would they wonder why I was spending my 20s composing emails at 10:47 p.m. to people whose names I barely knew, about projects I'd forgotten as soon as they shipped? Here's the part I didn't admit to anyone at the time. It wasn't just that I was tired. It was that I was becoming someone I didn't like. Someone who checked their phone before they checked in with themselves. Someone who said maybe next month every time friends suggested something that didn't fit neatly into the calendar. Someone who measured their worth by notifications and numbers. The job didn't just take my time, it started to colonize my sense of who I was. And the scariest part, on paper, everything looked perfect. People congratulated me. My parents told their friends. Old classmates messaged me saying, "You're killing it." From the outside, it looked like a dream. From the inside, it felt like slowly suffocating in a room everyone else insisted was beautiful. I'd stand on the sidewalk at night, looking up at the same windows I used to worship, and all I could think was, how do you walk away from something everyone else thinks you're lucky to have? Because by then, it wasn't just a job anymore. It was rent. It was health insurance. It was my identity. It was the story people told about me when I wasn't in the room. It was the golden handcuffs, too shiny to complain about, too tight to easily escape. I wish I could tell you I was brave, that I woke up one day, saw the truth, and walked into my manager's office to quit. That's not what happened. What actually happened is messier, more embarrassing, and a lot more honest. Because once you've built your entire life around a paycheck, the moment you realize that paycheck is quietly draining you, you don't just ask, should I leave? You ask, what if I can't? In the next part of this story, I'll tell you what finally pushed me over the edge, and why walking away from my dream job was so much harder than getting it. For now, I just want to leave you with this. If your life looks good from the outside, But every Sunday night feels like the end of something you never chose. You're not ungrateful, you're not weak. You might just be starting to see the bars of a cage everyone else still calls success.